What's up, YouTube? It's the Action Figure Grader, also known as John, coming back to you with an unboxing video, and I have been waiting for this one for a while. This was a Black Friday purchase on Facebook in a group that I am a member of. Note to self for next year: the best deals for vintage Star Wars figures, especially graded ones, can be found on these Facebook forums around Black Friday, you know, around Thanksgiving. I mean, the deals that you could get versus, you know, even market value or whatever, you know, it was just unbelievable. There was so much stuff that I wanted. I mean, if I was a millionaire, all that money would be gone now. It was pretty incredible, some of the deals that were out there. And I could only pick two. One was the CAS graded 9mm Mexican bootleg, which I've already shown you in a different video. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend you go check it out on my channel. That thing is crazy looking. And I did get one more graded item that is pretty epic. I can't wait to get it out of this box so you can see it. I'm assuming it made it here safely. But it is also graded by CAS, and it's definitely a unique one. And but I'm telling you, man, for those of you who are hesitant to buy on Facebook, I have not had a bad deal yet. I've just recently gotten into it, maybe in the last 2-3 months. But I've found some great deals, and this is definitely one of them that I'm super excited about adding to my collection. So let me get it out of the box and make sure that it is in one piece, and we will take a closer look at it. So please be patient with me, and I will be right back. And I am back, and look at this crazy one. Oh my goodness gracious. I mean, it really does look like the Bionic Man being put back together. Except in this case, it's a Bionic Wookiee. I mean, look how crazy this thing is. And for those of you who have not seen these yet, this is a fairly recent invention by CAS to present non-sonic welded vintage Star Wars figures. And they'll do it for bootlegs too. But look how crazy this is. CAS, Collector Archive Services, just came out with this casing style, I believe in June or July of this year. And so it's a fairly recent invention, but it's just unbelievable how cool it looks. For those of you who are unfamiliar with how these vintage figures were assembled, they did not use glue. They used, to assemble these figures, you know, the torsos themselves are two halves. So, you know, you got the front and then you got the back. And when they're assembling these figures, the figures have normal arm sockets, and, you know, they assemble them all, you know, in a factory, and then they use what's called sonic welding to hold the thing together. And what sonic welding means is they use super high-powered sound waves, sound lasers, to basically meld the figures together. And so what this is a non-sonic welded overstock Lily Letty Chewbacca that is unpainted. So that's a mouthful, but what that essentially means is when the Lily Letty Mexican factory was going out of business, they had a ton of these kind of unassembled figures, unpainted, unassembled, and they never got to finish them because the place went out of business, I guess. So, you know, people over time, I guess, just bought up these unassembled figures, but this is one that made it into a collector's hands who got it graded by CAS, given that they've come out with a really cool way to display these figures. But this is a Lily Letty Chewbacca, and as you can tell, it's not painted, and it's pretty awesome. I mean, I just love this casing style. I've fallen in love with it, but let's take a closer look at it. So here he is. You can see, you know, it's unpainted, and check out how crazy that you know, that design system is for holding this figure together. We will rebuild him faster, better, stronger. That's Chewbacca saying, "Where the hell are my arms and legs?" They're right here. Don't worry, buddy. We'll put them back. But it's just a pretty wild figure, and certainly unlike anything in my collection. But I do love Lily Letty's, and this is one that came up for sale during the Flash Friday, you know, Black Friday sale, and the price was fair, so I bought it. And I finally just got it. It took them a while to ship it, but, you know, you got to be patient with these Facebook sellers, and he did deliver it today, and it's just absolutely epic. So let's take a look at the grading. Let's see if I can get to focus here. A 1977 Lily Ledy Star Wars Chewbacca Overstock, non-sonic welded, and it came back with an 85 plus. And I can see why. I mean, the photos, I wasn't sure how it got an 85 plus, but I think he just had some weird lighting going on. But yeah, I mean, I don't see any flaws on it at all. It's just in really great shape. And obviously it's unpainted, which is kind of another unique thing about it. But pretty awesome. I mean, you can see the pouch there on his leg is not painted, and his bandola, I guess that's what it's called, is not painted either. But obviously his face is not. I'm going to zoom up there so you can see it. Pretty awesome figure, though. And I've, quite honestly, I've fallen in love with these non-sonic welded figures. I've been trying to buy them up as much as I can, ungraded on eBay, and whenever I get the funds together, I will start getting them graded so I can get some more figures for kind of this sub collection of mine, sub focus, to add to this one. But this is a pretty epic one. I mean, I didn't have a Lily Ledy Chewbacca already graded, and this will be my my non-sonic welded version. So let's take a look at the statement of archive. I almost forgot about that, but here we are. It says name Star Wars Lily Ledy Overstock Chewbacca non-sonic welded. It was archived in March. Oh, so I take that back. I thought this was done in March, or excuse me, June or July of this year, but it was June or July of last year. So June or July 2017 is when CAS came out with these. I found the old announcement on CAS's website. I didn't mean this past year. I'm sorry. It was 2017. But anyway, so this was archived in March of 2018. Lily Ledy loose action figure. There's the hologram number. Grade was 85 plus. The real grade was 88.6. And there is the picture of the item along with the hologram sticker, along with a signature. So pretty awesome. And I mean, it's just crazy. One thing I did not do, the only other graded item I have that is actually coincidentally also graded by CAS, and one I've shown you before, is my Uze bootleg Chewbacca. So let me grab that real quick. It's really close here, and then we'll just take a look at them together. Hold on one second. Here he is. So you can see how much bigger the case is for these non-sonic welded figures, and it's a lot more expensive to grade them, just FYI, because I've sent in a few others here recently. Not recently, maybe 2 months ago, I sent a few non-sonic welded figures in. But, to grade this figure here, that was about 30 or 40 bucks, something like that. And whereas to get a non-sonic welded figure graded costs about 70, so it's not cheap to get these graded. But you can understand why. It's quite a bit more complicated mounting process and mounting brackets and things like that, and it's just very ingenious design, in my opinion. Some people I've talked to on Facebook complain that the spacers are too big between the arms, and I can understand that. I mean, this was an early one. I think that since this one has been done, CAS has moved over to slightly less of a gap. But for me, I kind of like it. It's kind of robotic looking. It kind of looks like it's coming right out of the factory and being assembled. And, and that's kind of what these figures are. They're kind of like pre-factory finished figures anyway. So I kind of like the fact that there's that space in between there. But they will customize. I talked to the owner, Ross Barr, the owner of CAS, and he said they can customize that space and how wide that space is as much as you like. And I personally don't mind the wide space, but some collectors do. They just think it looks a little too ridiculous. So, I mean, I'm not picky on it. I don't particularly care, but some people do. And for any of you that do have these non-sonic welded figures, you can request when you submit them to Collector Archive Services, you can request that gap not be quite so large. So, but anyway, here he is next to my Uze Chewbacca, and you can see the paint applications on that Uze versus the Ledy Overstock. But what's interesting is that the Uze, which I didn't notice before when I was showing you guys this, but the Uze doesn't have much paint on the bandolier, on the bandola, except for the white. And then the pouch is also not painted, so that's something I did not realize when I first showed it to you. And then the back is not painted at all. So, it's a bootleg. I understand. I don't have any graded Kenner Chewbaccas. I'm certain it's on my goal list. I have a goal list for 2019. I certainly want to get a couple of them this year just to add to these. But anyway, I just thought you'd like to take a look at it next to my Uze, since that's the only other kind of vintage Chewbacca that I have graded right now. So, But anyway, I just thought you'd like to take a look at it. It's just a wild looking figure, and I'm certainly excited to have him, but just absolutely crazy looking figure. And man, I don't know, man. I'm excited about him. I can't stop thinking about these non-sonic welded, man. I know that makes me completely weird, but I'm excited to get some more of these hopefully in the future. So anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll be back soon.